Hey guys, so thank you so much for joining my channel. Welcome. Whether this is your first time or you've been here before, thank you so much for taking your time to stop and watch. My name is Kaya from Notes by Kaya, and I just wanted to make a quick video to talk to you about something that I don't feel like gets enough attention. So what we're going to talk about today is functional depression. You heard it right. That's what we're talking about. So what is functional depression? So you may have heard the term functional alcoholic. If not, functional alcoholism is when a person, instead of drinking all the time and they don't work, or different things like that, they're not productive. They still go to work, they still do the things that are expected of them, but they might be putting alcohol in their coffee. They might be having a little something in their desk, or different things like that. And to most of the world, they wouldn't know that they had a problem, but they really do. So what I am discovering, and what I've even discovered in myself, is that sometimes we have functional mental illnesses as well. So I want to talk specifically about depression because I think this is one of the ones that really relates the most. And I say that because oftentimes when we hear about depression symptoms, we hear about people that are not getting out of bed for several days or weeks, not taking showers, different things like that. But that's not the case for everybody. So what about those of us who are still going to work? We are still taking our showers, but we have other struggles in other areas where our depression is affecting. I try to be as transparent as possible in my blog, on this page, because if we're not talking about things and we're not going to be real about the situation, we might as well not even talk about it. So I want to always share my truths and my experiences, and hopefully that will help someone else to maybe better understand their experiences or be more comfortable in talking about what goes on with them. Over this past month or so, I have really struggled with cleaning my house. And it was weeks, y'all. Like, it was ridiculous. But because of my depression, like, I just was so drained, I couldn't do it. So I would come in and be like, oh my God, this looks a mess. And I felt terrible about it. I didn't want people to come over, different things like that. But when I would try to clean up and I try to pick up here and there, it just wasn't working. I was like, can't do this. No. So another day, another week, like time would just continue to go by and I was continuing to struggle. So a lot of people have these same issues. So if you don't know, I recently had the opportunity to coordinate a mental health conference with my church. It was amazing. It was a great experience. And we had a panel, and one of the women there asked a question of, how do you know that you might be struggling with depression? Now, I was simply a facilitator of this panel. And the other therapists and people, they were giving good answers in sort of kind of textbook. And I don't mean that in a way that they were not sincere in their answers, but I could really tell by looking at her and watching her reaction that she was not connecting with what they were saying. It just wasn't resonating. And so I had to kind of step in because as I stated, I feel that I'm more of that functional depressive person. So in talking to the lady, and I know her, but we have never had any kind of deep conversation on any level ever. So it was really me just seeing her response, and I could just tell that it wasn't clicking. But once I started saying, okay, no, you're going to work, but this is happening, this is happening, this. And she was like, yeah, 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 yeah. So that's really what made me want to do this video and know that it was something that needed to be talked about, because not everybody experiences mental health symptoms in the same way. So, a lot of times, and this is just what I've been calling it, you will not find functional depression in the DSM, okay? This is just what I've kind of coined a little bit to go with this, because I feel like it impacts many more people than what we understand or what we know of at this time. So, for me, and I know for other people, I have to go to work. I'm not going to miss out on work. And it's not because I'm more responsible than somebody else. It's not anything like that. But that's just not how my symptoms show up. Now, I might take a day off here, take a day off there, but most of the time, I'm going to push through it. And that's just because of my personality and the way that I function, right? So, other people, they might stay in bed for weeks at a time and miss work and lose jobs and things like that. But I know for me, I cannot do that. So the way that it shows up is I'm irritable. I'm not productive at work, or not as productive as I could be. I get to work and I don't want to be there. And I'm just like, forget it. I'm leaving. I'm out. And so it impacts my jobs in my job in those kinds of ways, or even with the blog and stuff. I know that I need to produce content, but I'm like, I don't have the energy to. Even with this video, I will share and admit that before I started this video, I had things on my mind that almost kept me from filming the video. But I had to kind of pump myself up and do it. Maybe you are a person that you're still going to work, you're still doing these things, you're still taking care of the kids, all that stuff. But that does not mean that you may not need to seek professional help. Because if other areas are lacking, or like I said, you're going to work, but you're not really producing work the way that you should and could, or you're snappy at coworkers, snappy at the kids, snappy at your husband, and or babe, whatever, then those can be signs that there's an issue as well. So it's not just, well, I'm still going to work, I'm still going to church, I'm still doing this and doing that. It is, how are you performing in those areas? Because you're doing it because you have to, because you know that it's a responsibility. And people are just built in different ways. But if you're lacking in those areas and slacking, then there may still be a problem. So, comment below if you understand where I'm coming from and you've ever felt these symptoms. I feel like this is something that we really don't talk about enough. And a lot of times, the way that we talk about mental health symptoms, um, it can make people feel like, well, that's not really me. So maybe I don't need any help. Maybe I'm just tripping, or, whatever. But we have to talk about all aspects of it and understand that not everybody reacts the same to everything. So I had to understand, okay, well, when these things are happening, it's a problem. Like, and I need to resolve those different issues. Those people around you might see what you're doing as lazy. But we know, who are going through these different things, it is so much more than laziness. Because you might want to do it. You want to go to work. You need to make that, like, secure the bag, sis, but if I feel like I can't get out of bed because my mind is just so drained, I haven't been sleeping, or, whatever it is, you're going to be impacted. I wanted to clean my house. I did. I looked at it every day and I was like, I need to do something about this. This is crazy. But when I sat down to do it, when I tried to start picking stuff up, I couldn't do it. And it's the same thing with people who lay in the bed for hours or days or weeks or whatever it is, it doesn't mean that they don't want to get up and do things. It's not because they're lazy, but mental illness is exhausting. Like, unless you've dealt with it, you just really have no idea. And anxiety can be the same way. I think anxiety a lot more because with anxiety, like your brain is constantly going, and your heart's beating faster. Like that wears on your body, and it makes you physically tired because of the physical symptoms that go along with it. With depression, you already feel drained. And it's almost like, where is this even coming from? I don't even know. And it is hard to pull yourself out of that. And that's why I always tell people, don't just say, oh, you just gotta do it, because it's not that easy. And sometimes, yes, we do have to push ourselves to finally get out of that place, but it takes so much work to finally have the energy to even push yourself that much. So for those of us that do still get up and go to work, it doesn't really make a difference because we're not working the way that we would be if our minds were more healthy or in a better place. So I just want to show people that there are people out here that understand, that go through the same kinds of things. And because when we know that we're not alone, a lot of times that can help kind of motivate us a little bit. Just because your symptoms don't necessarily look textbook, it doesn't mean that everything's good, because it might not be. And it's okay to still seek help and just say, hey, I don't know if this is anything, but I'm concerned, or my family's concerned, my friends notice, whatever it is. You never know who might be struggling, thinking that they're going through things on their own, or that they're the only ones that experience certain things. So feel free to comment down below. Like I said, I'm always going to be transparent with you. And so I really want to open that up on this channel, that this is a safe place, as well as on the blog, to openly share. We won't tolerate any kind of disrespect or anything like that in the comments. That's all that I have for you. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave them down below. If maybe you don't go through these kinds of things, but you want to know and you want to learn, feel free to leave your comments down below. If you are willing and open, share your story, what you do when you get into these kinds of moments, because you never know who you might be helping. So check out the description box for all my social media links, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to try to get these videos more on point and more consistent. So make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know as soon as I upload another video. And thanks again for watching.